Hi, fourth graders. This is Miss Liner. Today we're going to do a read aloud together called Finding the Tone. It is one of the books that you'll be able to find on RAS Kids. It's a part of the series, The Hollow Kids. So there are multiple books that include the same characters, and it takes you on their different adventures and experiences. The Hollow Kids is a little bit of a mystery series, so there's clues and hints and pieces of a puzzle that you kind of have to put together to figure out what's going on in the story. So today, the story that we're going to look at is titled Finding the Tone. So when I look at this title page here, Finding the Tone, I see my two girls. They're going to be our main characters, and they're staring at this book. And they look a little shocked. They look a little surprised. So I'm kind of wondering, is this the tome? So maybe a tome is some type of book. We'll have to figure it out as we continue to read. As we read through this text, you will see several bold words. There is a glossary at the end of the story that you can use to help you with understanding the meaning of each word. So if you come to a bold word and you're not quite sure what it means, you can go to the end of the story where the glossary is and read what the meaning of that word is. All right, here we go. It's Saturday afternoon, Sarah whines. Why are we spending it at the library? I figured this would be the best place to piece together an explanation of why all these weird things have been happening lately, I reply. Learning on a Saturday should be illegal, she retorts. In fact, Quinn, I'm making it illegal at this moment. And if you pass through those doors, you'll be breaking the law. Stop being so dramatic, I say as I walk up the steps with Jake, my little brother, bounding behind me. His backpack is crammed with books to return. So we're in the beginning. We have our character Quinn. We have Sarah. They're on the way to the library. We've been made aware that there's been some strange things happening around town, and these girls are on a mission to try to figure out why these things have been happening. I noticed the bold word explanation, but there was also another word in here, retorts, where it says learning on a Saturday should be illegal. She retorts. And so I'm thinking, just based on the fact that someone was speaking and she was talking back to the other character, that maybe retorts means that she's responding or replying or answering. Let's continue. Inside, the comforting scent of books fills my nostrils as Jake unloads his backpack onto the counter before meandering to the children's section. Sarah and I step up to the counter and I say to the librarian, "Excuse me, but we need some help exploring local history." "Oh, are you researching a report for school?" she asks as she scans Jake's books. "Something like that," I reply. "Except we were wondering if you have any historical records of strange events happening around town." "You certainly live in the perfect town for that. Since the founding of Porter's Mill, people have experienced many odd occurrences." All right, so now I'm getting a little bit more information. I know there's some strange things that have been happening in the town. The girls want to research and find out, if there's a history of these events, maybe what was behind those events happening. Could it be the same reason why these strange things are happening now? We haven't been told what strange things they have experienced in this book yet. I'm wondering if, since this is a series, maybe there was another book where we would get some more information from that. Remember, I told you this is one of the books from the Hollow Kids series. So maybe there is a book before this where we find out what Sarah and Quinn have experiencing, and this is just a continuation of that book. All right, but we do know they are trying to figure out why these weird and odd things are happening. So I'm kind of wondering if our author is going to have another weird or strange occurrence happen in this book, and then that will kind of give me an idea of what it is these girls have been experiencing. "You know about this stuff?" Sarah asked. "Only a tidbit or two, but we have some excellent reference material that might help. The librarian gestures for us to follow her to a table on the opposite side of the building. Large, old leather-bound books line the shelves surrounding us. I don't think I could even lift some of these massive books, Sarah whispers. The librarian saunters over and starts running her fingers down one shelf. She pauses at an empty space and makes an annoyed face. All right, so looks like they're on their way to maybe getting some history, some knowledge of what's been happening. Don't forget to use that glossary if you need to. It appears that the tome I'm searching for is missing. These books aren't allowed off the premises, so I can't imagine who would have taken it. It seems as though she's talking to herself now. Perhaps Mr. Himmel moved it to the attic as part of the reorganization. It certainly wouldn't be a very popular read. The librarian returns to us and says, "Sorry, dears, but I believe Mr. Himmel, the head librarian, has placed the book somewhere. Unfortunately, he's on vacation for the next 2 weeks. If you'd like to return then, I'm sure he could assist you." With that, she strolls back to the desk to assist someone else. "Looks like our visit to the library was pointless," Sarah says as she stands up to leave. All right. So I noticed that the librarian, uses the word tome and referring to the reference material with the historical information. So I'm thinking that a tome is a book that has historical information or information about a historical event. I also am noticing that the book is missing and also the head librarian, the guy that's in charge, he's not there too. So is that a coincidence that this book is missing and Mr. Himmel is not there? Or is there a reason why they are both not there at the same time? Could that be a clue into what is going to happen in the rest of the book? Let's keep reading. "You heard her about the book possibly being in the attic," I say. "We should investigate up there." Sarah assesses the doorway behind the librarian's desk. Narrow stairs lead upward, but suspended on a rope in front of them is a sign that says "Authorized personnel only." Sarah shoots me her "This is a bad idea" glare. Things are getting weirder around here, and I see no sign of them letting up. It's time to be proactive and start figuring things out for ourselves. I snap. So it sounds like the author is letting us know that Sarah and Quinn are getting ready to do some more investigation in an area they're not supposed to be in. Don't forget to use that glossary if you need to. Okay, okay, Sarah says, surrendering. "What do you suggest?" "We need Jake to distract the librarian while we sneak upstairs. Sidetracking the librarian proves easier than we thought. Jake, who has never suffered a shortage of questions, keeps her attention long enough for us to sneak up the stairs." All right, I'm kind of feeling like this is leading up to another weird event or a weird occurrence happening. I think these girls are going to find themselves in a situation. The stairwell is longer and steeper than I expected, curving around the outside of the building. After ascending for some time, we emerge into a long, musty room. At the far end, a small round window allows in the afternoon light. It's gloomy and dusty, but we can see row after row of books on old shelves. Compared to where we've been recently, this might as well be a playground at midday, Sarah says, and I have to agree. Thinking about the hollow and the cave of the lost, the room almost seems comfortable, practically cozy. So I'm feeling like the author has given us a few clues about where the girls have been, the hollow and the cave of the lost. I'm thinking that those may be other books in the series that maybe I can go read and get some more information about what things Sarah and Quinn have experienced that have led them up to this point. "Come on," I say. "The book must be up here somewhere. Scan the titles for anything that looks promising." Sarah takes one side and I the other, working our way down the shelves. None of the titles seem as though they would contain anything helpful. We were just about to the end of the shelves when we hear it. Footsteps on the stairs. Uh-oh. We have no good place to hide, so we quickly cross the room and press ourselves into the dark space behind the open door. We wait as the footsteps grow louder. They sound too soft and tentative to be made by an adult, and for a moment I wonder if Jake has followed us. Looking through the crack where the door hangs on its hinges, we watch. The footsteps reach the landing at the top of the stairs and suddenly stop. No one steps inside, but we can hear shallow breathing. I wonder who this could be. Is this the librarian getting ready to catch them? Could it be Jake, her brother? This seems like this is another weird event, weird occurrence that they're going to have to try to figure out. Sarah presses closer to the crack, trying to catch a glimpse of whoever is on the landing. When she brushes against the door, it moves with a creak that sounds like an explosion in the silence. We hold our breath and wait for whoever it is to pull back the door and catch us. It doesn't happen. And after some time, we move out from behind the door. No one stands on the landing, even though we never heard anyone go back down or enter the room. I carefully go down the steps to the first bend and peer around the corner. Nothing. Now, this is definitely another weird event that is happening that these girls are going to have to figure out. It also is a little bit spooky. A loud thump explodes upstairs, so I quickly climb back up to find Sarah, terrified, staring at a large book on the floor. I don't know what happened, she says. I was waiting for you, and I just heard it fall. I pick up the heavy book and examine the title. Porter's Meal, a history by John Porter III. Small text fills the yellowing pages, broken up in a few places by drawings. Someone tore out a few pages here and there, but it looks as though it will provide a lot of information. All right, so now I have a lot of questions. These girls were just in this room, they were going through these books. They didn't see this book, they never found it. Where did it come from? How did it just all of a sudden appear? There's also some pages missing from the book. Is that on purpose? Is someone trying to hide something? Are there secrets that they don't want uncovered? And it's almost giving me the feeling like maybe someone or something is trying to help them. This book all of a sudden appears and they find it when they're investigating, their town and these events that have been happening over and over since the town has been founded. Suddenly we hear the thunderous sounds of many feet rushing up the stairs. I hold the book to my chest as the noise grows. I can hear something like children's laughter, but it's hard to tell. Sarah and I look at each other and then close our eyes, bracing for whatever is about to happen. The door slams shut, startling us, and then everything falls silent. We look around, but we're alone in the room, and after a few moments, we're able to move again. All right, so this weird event has just now gotten weirder. Before, they only heard the feet of one person, then they heard the breathing, not breathing. Now it sounds like there's multiple people up there running around, and the door has closed on its own. What's going on? Sarah asks. I'm so tired of all this. I am too, but maybe this book will help. I say, trying to soothe her. Let's get out of here. Sarah nods, and we cautiously make our way back down the stairs where the librarian waits. So they're getting ready to leave to get out of there. They have the book. Are they going to make it out with the book? Is the librarian going to catch them? Are they going to find the information they need to figure out what these weird things are that have been happening? Will they discover what just happened with them going up into that area where they weren't supposed to be? Will they find out who that was up there? Who do those feet and that breathing belong to? Well, guys, you will have to read the next book in the Hollow Kids series. Here is the glossary that I referred to that has all those bold words and their meanings there. It gives you the word, the part of speech that it is. It tells you the meaning and what page it is on. This is a book that you may choose to read again and then take the quiz for when you're doing your own independent reading. Remember that this is a part of the Hollow Kids series. So there are other books with our characters, Sarah and Quinn, and then there's some other books that have some other characters that are introduced to you that you can read and see if you can figure out what the pieces of the mystery mean. I hope you enjoyed this book. Make sure to log on to Canvas, view your mini lessons, complete any discussion boards that you may have, and also get on Raz Kids, read for 90 minutes each week, and make sure you complete 3 different quizzes for 3 different books. So that means for every book you read, you need to take a quiz. All right? Happy reading, guys.